Hey guys, it's Board Gamers and E3 is here, which is the holy grail of all gaming conventions. And Microsoft had its press conference this morning, aka this afternoon for me, but morning in the West Coast. Lots of announcements from Microsoft. They announced a lot of stuff, and the big thing you could basically take away from this is that Microsoft was really concerned about gaming and gamers. First thing they showed off was Halo 5 and also Halo 5 multiplayer. It looks like Halo 5 is going to be a very big game in terms of scope, feel. They got to get that multiplayer right, especially with all the issues they had with the anniversary edition. So they're spending a lot of time on that, and they showcased that front and center, which was pretty cool to see that. So I can't wait to see Halo play. I don't do well in multiplayer on Halo, so for me the single player is where I'm really concerned about. But it should be fun to definitely see that. There are a lot of announcements there in terms of what to expect. The other big thing was also the new controller. Nope, not the controller, which we will have a video for you guys tomorrow, which is the new Xbox controller with the 3.5 mm jack. I'm talking about the new Xbox Elite controller. This controller basically is for the elite gamer. It's customizable from your standard D-pad all the way to a new D-pad for fighting games, new thumbsticks. You can also have paddles at the back, all this fun stuff in there. This thing is fully customizable, remappable all the way. So this is a new controller for the elite gamer, and this is something that Microsoft is really pushing. So it's really cool to see that, and that's coming out in the fall. So that's also a big thing. Now, the other really big thing was backward compatibility to 360 games. Now, if you're a preview member, if you have the Xbox preview package, you can actually try out some games today. But by the fall, they will have 100 titles which are backward compatible, and that is actually two ways. Basically, you'll be able to just pop in your disc from your Xbox 360 into your Xbox One and play. And some of the digital titles will also be available off the go. So there are a couple of ways, but basically, if you have the game eventually on your Xbox 360, you can pop it back in and just play it. You don't have to actually re-download it or do anything like that. So that's also really big. And Microsoft talks about that. They said, the first batch would be 100 games available, which will be playable with multiplayer support, all that fun stuff built into it there. There are a couple of games. It's all about games. I mean, they showed Tomb Raider, which looked really good. There was a new game from the Mega Man creator, and the studio made Metroid Prime, which is called Recore. It looked interesting in there, and of course Fallout 4. What can you say? I mean, I'm not the biggest Fallout fan, but it's glad to see the franchise continue and also just expand on what it's done there. And the cool thing with Fallout 4 is that PC mods will be playable on the Xbox One, which brings to another thing that basically the Xbox One is becoming that PC extension, and Microsoft is really playing that there, with the streaming back and forth all together, from your Xbox to your Windows 10 computer there. Now, the other thing they also announced is actually being able to play Xbox One games ahead of time, pre-release games. So basically, this is actually with the indie community because they showcase a lot of indie titles, and I actually want to see a bunch of those indie titles. There's one game that's really interesting called Uncupped, I believe, which kind of looks like an old school Popeyes cartoon with regular 2D gaming style, which is really nice. But the whole idea of this Xbox One games, play games before they release, is actually help developers. It's something that Steam has done with Steam Early Access. So this is also happening on the Xbox One, where you can basically play a game, try it out, and decide I'll wait for it to get better, or you can start supporting them right away. And that's also something that's really cool and was really interesting to see from Microsoft. Rare also made an announcement there. They came by and they showed the Rare collection, which is all Rare titles in one package, coming out in August for like $30, which is pretty cool, all the way from Perfect Dark, Conker's for a Day, everything you can expect. GoldenEye is there, but Donkey Kong Country won't be there. So any of the Nintendo specific Rare games won't be there, but all the stuff that kind of had either Rare owned or shared titles, you could be able to actually get those. So that was actually pretty cool to see. Other thing too. Now moving on to the Windows Windows 10 and Xbox One connection was Microsoft announced a partnership with Valve. They announced with Valve that for Valve VR that actually they are partnering with them, and also continue to reiterate the partnership they have with Oculus. So they're really pushing virtual reality, and they really want that to come to Windows business, most likely to probably to the Xbox One at some point, or the Xbox system at some point. And then they also mentioned that they also showcase HoloLens, and they really showcase why they actually bought Minecraft, because they showcase HoloLens, Minecraft for HoloLens, which looked absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is why HoloLens was really literally created, right? At least both of the pairings there really makes a lot of sense. So it was nice to see that, and it was really cool that they actually showcase that stuff out there. And then of course, I'm a Gears of War fan. They talked about the Gears of War Ultimate Edition for Gears of War 1 coming out this August. I think didn't specify how much. And Gears of War 4 will be coming out in the holiday season of 2016, which is literally more than a year away from now, a year and a half from now. But it will be starring new characters. It looks like it's voiced by I've forgotten the actor's name, but it sounds like the voice of Castle, the TV show Castle, or Nathan from Firefly. Which was pretty cool, but it looks like there's going to be new characters, new direction in Gears of War, but it still looks really, really good altogether. So in terms of what Microsoft actually brought to the table, it looks like they brought a lot of concentration on games. They did talk about a new UI representation for the dashboard coming up that they will announce later on this week. But from what we saw from them today, they really focused on gamers and games and providing those gaming services. Ubisoft showcased The Division, which you've been waiting for. Also, Rainbow Six Siege, talking about how when you get that game, you also will get Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2, which are 360 games. You actually get that with Rainbow Six, and also those games are backward compatible if you already had them on your 360 right there. So there's a lot of stuff there, but I really liked Microsoft's concentration on games. I mean, they just needed to do that because, of course, gamers want to hear that. That's what it is. I like all the entertainment stuff with the Xbox One, but I think they want to separate that for the user announcement coming down, this week. Maybe 4K support. Who knows? At least maybe 4K video on the long run. So that's it, guys. That's what we got from the Xbox One from E3, Microsoft's Xbox One announcement. It was HoloLens, Minecraft HoloLens. There's a new controller. Of course, we got to see Gears of War 4, all that fun stuff there. And so any questions, any comments, guys? I want to know what you guys think about what Microsoft announced. Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and always enjoy your entertainment.